Alright, so welcome back guys, and welcome to your first time here. I'm Vision here at Bond Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. So today I'm going to be giving you guys my review for the 100 Season 7 Episode 6, Nakara. Now if the 100 is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would miss any more 100 related content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. Now we start off this episode following up with Dioza on what happened to her when she was separated from Octavia when they arrived on Bardo. Now we see her similar to Octavia. She did also attack and fight off the guards and escaped. However, she was again easily captured by the disciples on Bardo. However, unlike Octavia, when she was brought to MCAP, she did resist the MCAP trials, and unlike Octavia, she was put through severe torture while in order to get into the MCAP procedure, which I like how they showed that. There are some I feel like were a little over the top and they probably could have cut out, but overall I did like how they showed that and showed the difference between both of them once they arrived on Bardo. But then you jump forward and she does eventually escape, killing one of the disciples who was working on getting her through the MCAP trials. And she escapes, and she does run into more disciples. She kills a bunch of them, but right before she kills one of them, it's revealed to be Hope, Gabriel, and Echo. And she's reunited with Echo and Octavia, and we get a nice little reunion between the three of them. And I thought it was a really good reunion. And you got that moment where Octavia reveals to Dioza that Bellamy died, and I like that little reunion. It was a very good reunion. I think it was perfectly done, and I think the timing was done perfectly. They shouldn't have drawn it out like some shows do, so I think it was handled very well between the three of them. Now from there we got Octavia's group, who then decides to head to the stone room. However, once they get to the stone room, they realize that it's not guarded and realize that something must be up. Now they end up seeing Levitt there, who warns Octavia that if they go into the stone room, there's dozens of disciples in there who are willing to sacrifice themselves to stop them from going for the anomaly. So I really like that piece of information. It tells how devoted the disciples are and how they go as far as to kill themselves just to protect the stone and to keep them there. So I really like that idea. But he gives them information in regards to how they can escape another way out. However, he does warn that it's dangerous and it's not survivable for a very long period of time. So I like that information as well. Now they end up heading off into that direction to get out of Bardo. However, once they get there, they do run into another member from the disciples, and in the midst of the chaos, you got Echo, who doesn't totally trust what they're doing, and you got Octavia, who's trying to convince them and tell them that Levitt is they're able to trust Levitt. And in the chaos, she does, like I said, mention his name, so Echo kills the man that they were with, or that they ran into, and they're about to go through. However, Gabriel says that they shouldn't, and at the last minute he ends up betraying the group, knocking all of them out and surrendering to the disciples. However, he is also knocked out by them, and that's where this story ends. I thought it was a very good story. Now, meanwhile, back at Sanctum, you still got the story going on regarding sheiheda. So you got Indra, who's doing her usual patrol. Now, as she arrives at the prison where sheiheda is being kept, she gets informed by one of the One Crew soldiers that some of the guns were stolen from the armory, which they need to find. Now, amidst that, you also have Indra notice that sheiheda has been brought out outside of his cell, which she scolds the guards about, saying that from now on he's not allowed to be in the cell, and that since he's been talking to some of the guards, his guards will be reassigned, and only Tree Crew will be monitoring and guarding the prisoner from this point on. She also informs her people that from now on, if they need to punish Russell or sheiheda, that only the children of Gabriel should be seen doing it. Otherwise, it'll look bad for One Crew and their people, since they're trying to keep the peace. Now, she ends up going in there and talking to Russell / sheiheda, and the two of them have a back-to-back conversation, and you got this back and forth between them, and sheiheda soon realizes that you got Indra, who's not as scared as, you know, the what would happen if people found out that he was sheiheda, but that people would end up following him and not her, and that while Maddie does have a claim to the flame, and that Clarke had the flame, that in the end, you know, he would still be followed by, you know, the one crew people. And I found this very interesting, this back and forth, and she does warn him that, you know, once you're not useful to us anymore, she will kill him. And I like this back and forth. It was a really good scene between the two of them, and I like this dynamic with Indra and sheiheda. Now from there you got Indra, who goes to talk to Murphy about the missing guns, and at this point Murphy is pretty much the de facto leader of Sanctum along with Indra, so I like how you got that. And again, using both these characters side by side, it's great to see them interact since we never seen that before. And again, just loving Indra's being more at the forefront. But they think it's most likely the Allegiance prisoners that took the guns. And she asks Murphy a little bit about Nikki, and he gives her the background regarding Hotch and Nikki that we got in episode 3. And they go to talk to her about the missing guns, and she pretty much vaguely just agrees that yeah, it was them. So I really like that. And she pretty much says that, you know, Raven's gonna get what's coming to her for the death of her husband. So again, I really like Nikki. I hope she doesn't die soon. I feel like there's a very interesting thing that could go on here with Nikki regarding her and Raven. So I really am excited to see what goes on here once Raven does return. Now at the same time, you got Nelson, who goes in to confront Russell, believing that he is still in the same body, unaware that sheiheda is taking control of Russell's body. And he goes in there and tries to kill him. However, sheiheda, posing as Russell, easily beats him. Now this is where I get confused. I like what they did here, because Nelson is quickly easy to figure out that he is not Russell compared to his own followers not being able to tell last episode, so I like that. And they go through this little chat, and sheiheda kind of manipulates him and tells him how him and the prisoners are very much alike, as in they want power and he wants justice, but he can't get justice without power, and they want revenge as well, which they can't do without power. So I really like this back and forth between the two of them. And then Russell kind of talks him into, you know, sit down, play a game of chess, and we can figure this all out, and I can help you get the power and the justice that you want, which I really, really liked. I'm curious to see what goes on here. I love Nelson, and I'm very curious to see what goes on moving forward of his character, and I thought there's some great scenes between these two characters. Meanwhile, you got Maddie, who has made some friends with some of the kids within Sanctum and the Children of Gabriel, which I really liked. I'm kind of annoyed that Maddie was sidelined so far, but I kind of see what's going on with the story, so I'm okay with it. However, Indra shows up and talks to her regarding one crew and how they need a commander in order to unite the clans back together. And Maddie is hesitant at first, but you got Indra, who's able to talk her into it and, you know, get her to understand why they need a commander to unite one crew together again. Now, as Indra's prepping Maddie to get ready and bring the clans back together, you got Jackson, Amori, and Murphy who show up. And for some reason, I don't feel like this was set up correctly, but Maddie has a panic attack, which I feel like came out of nowhere, so I gotta take off points there. And you got Jackson, who says she's not ready, she's too traumatically, she's been through a lot, which I feel like came out of nowhere. I don't know. So she goes off, and Indra realizes that she has no way of uniting one crew under a commander, which at that point Murphy confronts her and talks her into becoming the commander, reminding her how she's very much a good leader, and how even though he wasn't in the bunker with Indra and Octavia, he can tell that she was really in charge and giving out a lot of the orders, and how she could easily unite one crew under her own rule, which I really liked, and I liked that idea of Indra being in control of one crew. So even after she's still reluctant. However, Mori says, even though you don't want it, is a sign that you should be the leader. So I really like that. So Indra agrees, and she goes in and confronts one crew. She is again challenged by this other grounder who is revealed to be named Knight, and he challenges her leadership yet again. However, in a duel between both of them, Indra is easily able to outmatch him, and she then proceeds to give a speech reminding them how much they've been through and how they've been able to come through so much over the past time, which I really loved. And she's finally able to unite one crew under her own leadership, and orders Knight to find the missing guns, which I really love. This story again. Sheiheda's storyline is so good. I'm loving it so much right now. Now, last we got the story regarding Clarke and her group on the other planet. Now, realizing that they're on the other planet, Raven has to find the anomaly stone so they can get off the planet and possibly get to the other planet where their people are being kept. While they're trying to do that, they realize that this is most likely where the people that they have captured their friends keep their dead, as they have found multiple dead bodies in the snow, which is a very interesting idea. But then as they're doing that, Raven is able to find out a way to get to the anomaly stone, and they head down into this trench like tunnel area. And as they're heading down into this area, they end up being attacked by some kind of creature, and Raven's helmet is a little bit broken, and they end up finding this like dead end area, and they end up stuck there and no way to get hit the anomaly stone. Now, while they're trying to figure out what to do from there, you got the walls who end up moving around, and both groups end up being trapped as the walls cut each other off without any way to get back to each other. Now, while they're separated, Raven confronts Clarke and asks her how she's able to stay so sane given everything that they've had to do to survive, especially Clarke, seeing as how she's done the brunt of it all, and how Raven says that she's having a hard time living with it, and how she somewhat believes this is karma for getting back at them for everything that they've done and everybody that they have killed. However, Clarke tries to reassure her and tell her that they are still good people and that they've only done the things that they have done to survive, and that she doesn't believe in karma, and that Raven is still a good person, and no matter what, they're gonna get out. They're gonna, make things better. Now, I like that. I do feel like Raven's coming to terms with things happened a little too quickly. At the same time, now I feel like it's not completely over, and we could still see more of it moving forward. However, after a while, the groups are eventually reunited with each other as the walls shift back to normal, and they realize that they're not in a tunnel, but actually in a living organism. At which point, they ask Raven to finally get them out of there. As once the walls shift, they're able to find the anomaly stone and a way out. And Raven begins to try to work on finding another planet for them to go to. And amongst this, you got Miller, who notices a symbol on the ground that is the Second Dawn symbol, and is kind of confused and curious as to why that symbol is there, seeing as he assumed that the Second Dawn cult people were dead. So I really like that. I'm very curious to see what goes on here. And at that point, you also got the creatures from earlier who come back to attack them. However, as amidst the chaos, Raven is able to get and find another planet quickly, and they are able to go through, and Clarke warns them to keep their weapons hot as they don't know what they're about to face as they go through the anomaly into the other planet. Now, I thought this was a really, really solid episode. Really enjoyed it. Just the Bardo stuff kind of annoyed me. Bardo hasn't been the greatest storyline for me. I've kind of don't care about it. I love the sheiheda stuff, and this storyline with Clarke's group was really good. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 this episode. Probably my best episode so far this season, and my top grade so far this season. I really enjoyed it, and I'm very excited to see what goes on with the sheiheda and Clarke story moving forward. Hopefully things get connected finally, and things turn out good. But I thought this was a very solid episode. So yeah, guys, that's my review of the 100 season 7 episode 6 Nakara. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That would have missed more 100 related content from me moving forward. And you go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which I'll link in the back section on my YouTube channel. As always, it's been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.